Wow. I can't even really put it into words, the emotions I'm feeling right now. I'll let you guys in on something real quick. I sat here for a good 20 minutes before starting this video because I didn't know how to articulate myself enough to describe the other greatness that I'm seeing in front of me besides peak. Like, legitimately peak. I hate throwing that word around. I do. Because so many shows are great in their own way. But this is legitimately peak shonen. This is insane. I can't believe the quality of Bleach. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it, guys. We waited 10 years for them to give us true greatness. Let's just get straight into it and talk about Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, episode 7 today. Wow. Our episode begins today 1,000 years ago with us seeing the original Quincy attack on the Serete against the Soul Reapers. As we see Bach marching in there, and we just see the utter savages that the OG 13 Court Guard squads were. Stone cold killers, man. And I actually saw this a couple days ago, and I might make a video on it if you guys are interested, but apparently they're making a prequel manga of Bleach with these captains as the center of it. The OG 13 Court Guard squads. I might do a video talking about that if you guys want, but I saw that and I was hyped as hell for that. That's incredibly cool. Seriously, if you guys want to see me talking about that, like, leave a comment in the comments. I will. I like doing news stuff every once in a while if you guys are interested. And let me just say, the Quincy's were so not ready whatsoever. They literally pulled up and got absolutely annihilated. Like, it's not even funny. I can't even laugh at it. They got wiped out so badly by the original 13 Court Guard squads. It's a literal massacre. And as Bach is standing there on a mound of corpses, Yamamoto pulls up on him. And you guys let me know if this has changed from the manga or not, but Sasakiba was apparently the one that stabbed Bach in the back and gave Yamamoto the time to take him out. I didn't remember that at all. You guys let me know in the comments if that was in the manga or not, or they added that, because I did not remember that whatsoever. And it's here we actually transition to another scene of the past, where young Shunsui actually goes into Yamamoto's office because he's fascinated with this one painting that he has hanging up. As Yamamoto tells him that that's a monster that appeared in the Soul Society a long time ago. It showed up when the Soul Society was facing a crisis, only to make things much worse. It will never show up again, but if it ever does. As we transition back to the present and Yamamoto gets cut clean in half, like from his head to his waist, he literally gets cut clean in half. It's pretty gruesome. As he finishes what he's saying and says, "I'll probably never be back here again." Meaning that if you ever see the person in this picture again, that means I will be dead. As we see that every captain that's there feels that Yamamoto is gone. We even see Shunsui desperately cry out for him, only to get shot twice in both pectorals. It's kind of wild. And as we transition back to Bach and Yamamoto, we see that his lower body is still standing, even after being cut in half. As Bach says, "You may have been the head of the Soul Reapers, but your demise was pitiful, Shikakuni Yamamoto." And I'll be real, guys, it's a really tough scene to watch. It's a really tough scene to watch. And as Bach turns to leave, we see that Yamamoto, even cut in half, still grabs onto him and tries to not let him leave, as Bach cuts off the hand that grabs him. As he stomps on his head and says, "Shikakuni Yamamoto, you half-hearted fool. You will never know why I removed you from being counted as one of the 5 special threats." As he asks him a question that a lot of us have been wondering, like, why didn't you restore your left arm? You could have done so if you'd ordered that human girl to do it. But you didn't want to exploit the humans, did you? As Bach says, I know why. Even during your battle with Aizen, you were apprehensive about letting Ichigo Kurosaki get involved. Because he was a human. And even now, you try to carry the burden of the Soul Society and the world of the living on your shoulders. And you lost. You've grown weak, Shikakuni Yamamoto. And it's here that Bach starts describing the OG 13 Court Guard squads that confronted him 1,000 years ago, saying, the original 13 Court Guard squads that you founded were court guards in name only. They were a group of savage killers. And because of that, you were truly a fearsome bunch. And as their leader, you were truly a beast with the sword. You used everything and anything to slay your enemy. The lives of the people, including your own subordinates, weighed only as much as ash to you. But all that changed after you exterminated us Quincy's. As he goes on to explain that, upon gaining a peaceful world, you people had more things to protect and to love. You deteriorated into a bunch of weaklings who would hesitate to take action to satisfy your pathetic sense of justice and pride. As he tells him that, you died without knowing this, but the Soul Society will perish. But the 13 Court Guard squads died with us 1,000 years ago. As he just completely wipes away the last of Yamamoto. As we see all the 13 Court Guard squad captains are shocked beyond belief. As Bach says, inform every member of the Stern Rider. Tell them to thoroughly crush the Soul Society. And it's here that every Stern Rider calls forth even more troops. They call forth the Soldat, and they absolutely annihilate everyone that's left. This has turned into a true purge. They are killing every single person they see. It is very hard to watch. And it's here we transition to Ichigo, who's slowly but surely watching everyone he cares about, everyone he's ever cared about in Soul Society, slowly perish as their souls just disappear one after another. As he's finally able to break out of Quilgi's jail with the help of Akon. As we see that Akon was heavily wounded in the process of getting him out of there. And I love this scene. How we get the first person view as we just see some random ass Stern Ritter up there. Like, oh, my name is so-and-so. Ichigo don't care. He wipes him out instantly. Doesn't say a word against this jabroni. And the second he does, everyone there, Stern Ritter, Soul Reaper, even Bach is surprised. Like, who the hell is this that just showed up? As we see that Ichigo is finally on the scene. And it's here that we get a really, really sad scene, actually. I almost teared up watching this scene as Ichigo goes to Byakuya. As Byakuya asks him, Rukia and Renji, are they still alive? Ichigo tells him, yeah, they're alive. I don't have much time left. And Ichigo knows what's going to come right here. You can just tell immediately. As he continues and says, though I am a captain of the 13 Court Guard squads, I was unable to defeat the despicable people who trampled on the Serete. I led many squad members to their deaths. I brought sorrow to their subordinates and to their families, only to lose and die in disgrace. I am deeply ashamed of this. As he actually starts crying here. As he continues and says, you, on the other hand, are a human. Not only should you not be involved in this fight, you should not even be here in the first place. So forgive me for the terrible audacity of asking you this final favor. Please, protect the Soul Society. And while he's standing here, he has so much emotion that Ichigo is burning the rain that's hitting him with this spiritual pressure. He has that much emotion in this scene right here, that the rain literally can't even touch him. As we just see Ichigo standing here. And this might be the maddest we've ever seen him, ever. As we transition to Bach, as they say, this spiritual pressure, it must be Ichigo Kurosaki. And as he tries to leave, we just see Ichigo's sword get slammed down in front of him. As he picks his sword up and stares him down. And as we transition back to Byakuya, he says that he didn't respond to me. But that's fine. That's the kind of man he is. I know his answer even if he didn't respond. As he says, I'm counting on you, Ichigo Kurosaki. As Zenbone Sakura falls and completely shatters. It's a really emotional scene, honestly. I have to be honest. It's pretty emotional. And as we transition back to Ichigo, he asks Bach, are you the enemy leader? As Bach says, the enemy? Huh? I am. But you could also say that I'm not. As Ichigo gets infuriated by this, saying, cut the crap! I'm asking if you're the one who wrecked the Soul Society. And Bach, hearing this, gets souped up like, I did indeed. And Ichigo just explodes right then and there. As Bach says, he leaves me with no choice. I will crush him here. And their battle starts, and it is absolutely epic. I've heard some people say that, oh, Bleach doesn't have movement in it. Like, what? What? This episode just proves all of you so wrong. It's so wild. How people could just say something that's just so absolutely wrong. And their fight is incredibly fierce. But Bach is pushing him back and is winning. As Bach actually holds him down and slams his sword into Ichigo's neck. And for a second, it looks like Ichigo is dead. But all of a sudden, Bach realizes that his sword didn't go through his neck. It was stopped by Blut Vein, the same technique that the Quincy's use. Remember that. As Ichigo throws Bach off of him with an energy wave. And Bach's actually injured. His whole arm is singed right here. As he says that I should have known better. And as he charges at Ichigo and slashes at his arm, we see that the Blut Vein is also on his arm as well. As Bach says that it seems that using Quilgi Oppi to keep you at bay was a mistake. I should have used an Arankar instead of a true-born Quincy. Because of that, the memories within your spiritual pressure have awakened too soon. And it's here that Bach explains that you kept releasing your spiritual pressure to the limit while in contact with Quilgi's jail ability. The bits of spiritual pressure left behind from this explosive release mixed with some of Quilgi's spiritual pressure as it returned to your body. His Quincy's spiritual pressure slowly seeped into the depths of your soul, drawing out memories within your spiritual pressure. As Bach says a line that I want all of you guys to really pay attention to. He says, Quilgi's jail is meant to restrain enemies. It is unable to contain Quincy's. And Ichigo has no idea what he's talking about. As Bach says, you don't know anything about yourself, do you? Not even about your own mother. My plan was to slowly take you back and re-educate you, but I no longer have the luxury in doing that. I've decided to force you into submission and drag you with me. As Ichigo is unbelievably confused. As Bach tells him, I'll tell you at the Wunden Reich. And as Bach uses the high-level Quincy ability to trap Ichigo, he says, show me what you got, Ichigo Kurosaki. As he just demolishes Ichigo with this ability. And as he's standing over Ichigo, he grabs his head, points his sword at him and says, I will pierce you this time. Don't assume you can evade it with your Blut Vein. But literally at the last second, we see that Bach's time is up and they have to leave. As Bach says, impossible, we should still have time left. As he remembers his meeting with Aizen. And it's here that he realizes that during the few minutes I was in contact with him, he was able to slightly alter my senses. As he says, it doesn't matter, let's leave. And we see that him alongside every Stern Ritter is leaving Soul Society with just a wake of death left behind. And right before they're about to leave, we just hear Ichigo say, you think I would let you go? There's no way I'd let you escape. And Bach doesn't even look at him, and he walks away as Ichigo charges at them. And it's here that his second in command, Yhwach, which I know I butchered because I know him by his first name, draws his sword and shatters Zangetsu. And Ichigo is shocked to his core. As Bach says, "Farewell, Ichigo Kurosaki. I'll come back for you again, my son, born in the dark," as our episode ends. And I love the fact that our end credits scene isn't our normal one. It's showing the old 13 Court Guard Squads, all the members, as it also pays tribute to Yamamoto. And I think it is beautifully done. And what an incredible episode. Oh my lord, guys. I like I told you guys at the beginning, I sat here for like 20 minutes thinking how to start this episode. Because I had to collect my thoughts over this. And I don't normally do that. But this was crazy. This episode was insane. I'd argue this episode was more insane than last week's. To an extent. In terms of the information we got in this episode. I'm sure a lot of you have questions. And I have the answers. But I'm not going to tell you. Because we will find out soon enough. And I can't wait for it, guys. I can't wait. It's going to be so great. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this episode. Because it was, frankly, the closest to peak that I think we've gotten. So let me know what you thought down below. And oh man, I'm so juiced up right now. I'm so happy Bleach is back, and it's being treated so well. It really truly makes me happy. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day, and Bleach greatness is back. Ah, I love to say it. I'll see you guys next time.